Okay, so now you just have like 3 months for your exams. So I'm addressing today for the G.C.E O-level students who are having their exams on May, and especially I'm focusing on the students who are writing ICT. So I'm going to add my personal experience on ICT, how I was able to get an A in just 3 months for the subject of ICT without having any practical knowledge. So first of all, if you guys want to continue with me and watch all the videos coming up, leave a like, subscribe and share our channel with your friends as well. So then, moving on. Are you too late to get an A? My answer is no. So without going any further, I'll just go on with the steps much faster. So first thing you have to do is you need to know where you stand. You might be at a position of an A, a B, C, S, or at a fail, you might be in a failed position. Wherever you stand, you have the ability of getting an A. You still have the ability of getting an A. So for that, just follow the simple steps I'm going to tell you now. If you want, you guys can even grab a pen and a paper and note it down. So if you just go through the syllabus breakdown, you know that you get questions from both the years of grade 10 and grade 11. But if we really check out the two books and the curriculum, you can see that the grade 10 lessons are much easier than grade 11. And also, if we just look at the grade 10 books, in the grade 10 book, the lessons you have in the syllabus breakdown, you can see that some lessons are actually things you really know. For an example, if you take word processing, it can be PowerPoint or even spreadsheets. They are simple things that you and I use in our day-to-day life, so you don't have anything new to learn. Even if you do have, although they have given harangue of notes, what they really ask is about icons or pointers. They just give you some images and ask how you apply them and things like that. Even if you take the lesson programming, they won't be giving you a whole set of scenario like in advanced level and ask you to draw a big program and you know everything. What you'll basically get is either you can get something like fill in the blanks, or they'll make you write a pseudocode to a flowchart or flowchart to a pseudocode. Anyways, it's easier than you think. First of all, like I told you, what you need to know is you need to know where you stand. So for that, don't just go and check the paper which you've done. It might be even years back. So what you have to do is get a paper now. So or whenever you're going to start studying, get a paper. So that also, don't just make it some sort of just a normal term test paper or a unit test. Just take an O-level paper, a G.C.E O-level paper. That also, don't just take, just because everyone say to take the latest paper, don't take the latest paper. You can ask your teachers or some past students or discuss with your friends which of the papers consist of the most difficult questions. Select the paper which composes of more difficult questions comparing to the others. So this, of course, you can ask from your school teacher or your tuition teacher and get an idea about it. Then after you select the particular paper, don't go through that paper, just time the paper and do it. And after you do that, go through the marking scheme and mark your paper and see where you stand. And also, if you are at a 75 for that paper, don't think that you have an A. Count your marks 10 marks backwards. So if you are at a position of 75, count it as a 65, that is an B. So because when you think it is 75, there is a potential of you getting 74 and ending up in an B. Because you know that even if you get 74, that is a B. If you get 64, that is going to be a C. So if you want to get your mark, don't be fixed to the exact mark. So if it is 75, don't just try to board yourself to 75. That is not a safe spot. If you want to stay in the safe spot, you should at least be in the range of 80. Then okay, it's 80, so I'm on 80, so obviously I can get an A. So you should be somewhere like that. Now you might be wondering, okay, what A's and B's? I'm not even at a C. No problem, I got you covered. So now what you're going to do is, now you did the paper, you checked out, now you know where you stand. So what am I supposed to do by just knowing where I stand? That's not going to work, right? Okay, is it for you to get demotivated or just think, okay, I just have 3 months and I just did the paper, oh my god, it's a W, I just got 25 marks for this exam, how am I going to face it? No. First I'll just tell you my story. So I used to do health and physical education until grade 9, and all of a sudden I had to shift to computer science or ICT. So when I shifted to ICT in the school which I was, they've already done IT from kind of their small age, so they had a good knowledge about ICT, although I didn't have. So I was kind of lost. I always had 20s, 30s, 40s range for ICT, and even I can remember I got 50s once, and other than that it was all lower than 50. But still I managed to get an A. So now I'm going to tell you how I did that. If I just say, okay, now in school I didn't perform well until the last bit, and I scored pretty much well in my mock exam and scored an A. So throughout my journey of doing ICT, I already gave up on the subject. I thought, okay, I'm not going to make it. I was actually targeting like, okay, even if I get a C, that's going to be fine, because in the end of the day, who cares? It's just ICT. It's not just the important subjects. So there are much more subjects which are more valuable. No, guys, because actually, if I say the truth, O-level ICT is not even that, not even a big deal. It's something that anyone can get an A. Because if I could get an A in just 3 months, you guys obviously can, because most of you are at home and most of you are just used to online learning platforms, so you guys are more close to technology, so you can get the advantage. So if you are watching this video, obviously you are watching my video. So if you are watching my video, that means you're on YouTube. So there are plenty of tutorials and lesson coverage done on YouTube, so you can go through that as well. So I'm not going to promote my class and tell, come on to my class, learn from me. But what I want to tell you is, even without a teacher, you can get an A. Okay, so that sounds a little creepy. Why should I go to school? No, it's like this. Now what you have to do is, okay, well, let's get into the plan. So now you did the paper, now you know where you stand. So what you're going to do next is, you just have to analyze your paper. That means I prefer you self-marking more than you giving it to a teacher to mark. So if you don't have a marking scheme, of course you need to give it to a teacher to mark. But nowadays everything, you can get the marking schemes pretty much easily on the net. So you can just go through the papers out there and get the paper with the marking scheme. So when you mark, you can just mark what are the lessons which you've scored less, and also take a good note on which lessons are more probable at exams. So it doesn't mean that they'll neglect whatever subject, whatever the lesson is. No, what I mean is like what lessons score, what lessons compose more marks. Like what kind of lessons come to the main question? What kind of lessons come for selected type of questions? What kind of lessons combine together? Just look at that, because now it's not the time for you to parrot talk, because you just got 3 months more and you don't have a big time left out. So what you have to do is, now after you analyze your paper, now okay, now if you just take an example. Okay, so for logic gates, okay, you can say, okay, logic gates, there is a question like this they give. Now I'm just going to give you a simple tip. So if you take logic gates, the question type they can ask is, they can either ask you to identify what gate that is, or questions like that, or else they can give you a scenario and ask you to draw or to find the logic gate and the truth table, or else they can give you a logic gate and ask you to draw a truth table, or they can give a truth table and ask you to find which gate it belongs to. So simple things like that, that's all it can ask. Although in the textbook you can see tons of papers, tons of pages taken to discuss that part, right? So it's not that hard, guys. You can do it. So after you go through and analyze your paper, now you know what kind of lessons score more and where do you need to improve on, and take out the questions after that and try doing that. That also have something like this. You can make your own topical booklet. So what do I mean topical booklet or revision booklet? So you're going to make this from past papers. So it's much better if you guys are already going to a revision class or somewhere there where they cover up the past papers and everything. But this I'm going to tell you guys, if you are doing it as self-studies, even if you are going for a class, okay, you just have this plus 1 point that you need to spend less time on searching questions, but still better you do it alone, right? Because sometimes when you get everything, it doesn't work, but when you have to go finding, you'll get to know more stuff than you just getting it. So don't think it's a waste of time. Just spend 1 day for it and get down all the questions. So just take the closest papers. So if you take now, you guys are going to face exams on May, but it is counted as the 2021 paper. So what you're going to do is, now what are the papers you have? You have all the past papers up to 2020, no? So what you can do is just take past papers from 2015 to 2020. So there are altogether 6 past papers. So out of the 6 past papers, divide them according to the lessons. So you can just take the topics. Okay, if you just take logic gates, just write logic gates in a piece of paper and then write down the question numbers of each past paper. Now if you just take 2015 MCQ this, part 2 this, like that. Then after that, go through the theory of the particular lesson and compare with the questions you have. After that, try out those questions and clarify those doubts. If you can't understand to solve any kind of a question, you can discuss it with your friends or ask it from your teachers. Another tip, before I forget, if you guys have to make that topical booklet alone, like you don't have any teacher to help you, you might be having friends who study the same subject, right? So you all can divide, like, you know, you divide the papers of 2019, you divide 2017, like you guys can divide and get the work done with much lesser time. So then all of you have will get the opportunity of at least searching on one paper so that you know the structure of it. Right? Because one big advantage I felt was, because after I've done a ton of past paper questions before going to the exam, I knew what's coming. So now if I just talk about myself, when I did O-levels in 3 months, what I did was I just took the past paper questions, like I got a tuition master and he gave me booklets of past papers. So if you just take HTML, he gave me a set of questions from HTML from a lot of past papers, I think from around 2007 or something, and also some some provincial questions and all at once as one booklet, and we did the whole set of booklets, like means lesson wise booklets, and like we did it around twice before exams, and also after completing it twice, we stepped into doing the entire questions. So this consumes time, but it's totally worth it, right? Like you don't need exact 2 years to cover this syllabus. No, these 3 months are enough for you. You've got this God-gifted 3 months. Don't waste it, because if you waste any further, then you will be too late. But now, the person who is on the screen watching this video, I'm talking to you. You got time, right? Now you have 3 months to just focus and work. So now what you're going to do is, after you went through the topical questions and did basing on every topic, also you have to go through the teacher guide, or you can say the marking scheme, sorry, not the teacher guide, the marking scheme or the examiner's report. So you have to go through that and see what kind of answers do they expect. Sometimes your answer must be correct, but there are more appropriate points. Like if we just take theory kind of questions, like to look at the advantages and disadvantages about something, or to compare and contrast something, or to give a little detailing. So then when you read the teacher guide, or sorry, when you read the marking scheme or the examiner's report, you can understand what kind of an answer do they expect from you, so that you can include those kind of points in your answer. One more thing, that you don't have time to memorize the book, right? Don't go memorizing the book. What you have to do is actually get the summaries out of it. You can start making mind maps or something like that if you got around 6 months. So in the future, I'll give a plan of 6 months as well. So now I'm focusing on the kids who've got exams in just 3 months and how they're going to do it. So what you have to do is now, don't go on reading the lesson from the beginning. Get the topical question set and look at the questions and try to find answers for it. That is how you're going to study. Now, if I just talk frankly, before I came into teaching ICT, when I was doing ICT O-levels, I didn't read the entire textbook. I haven't still read the entire textbook. Like just because I had to make the tudes and things for my students, I had to go through the textbook recently. Like, I mean the entire textbook. Other than that, I didn't go through the entire textbook to study. I didn't. What I based on was the summaries which my teachers gave, and the summaries I self-made along with my understanding on the past papers. Because you got this valuable gift called past papers, so don't think to leave out past papers till the end. No, because you can study with the past papers even without a textbook, because you can Google things and find out. So after you complete every set of past papers, like try to do a self paper and see whether you've improved. Like now imagine you completed the first set, you've completed the first round of the entire set of past papers. So you just imagine you don't have time to do from 2015, fine, just take it from around 2017, no problem. But practice the questions you do properly, because it's not about the number of questions you do or the number of hours you study. It's all about your level of understanding and the practice you gain. See, if you can't score the correct mark from a particular question, do it over and over again. There's no problem in that. It's not going to be a waste of time, because if you leave out something, just think, what if this comes on my exam paper? What am I going to do? So don't get into that situation where you'll have to regret for a long time thinking, okay, if I did that question, I could have faced it right. So don't get into that shoes. I know you can do it. You just got 3 months. Don't waste your time and get the things done. And also, if you guys are students who have more time for exams, like 6 months or 1 year, or you guys are just starting up O-levels and have 2 years ahead, leave out in the comment section how long you have for your exam, so that I will prepare a video dedicated to you guys on how you're going to study. So see you soon. Bye bye.